GameStop stock has been on the rise lately, and more people are talking about it. In this video, we're going to talk about some things that no one else is related to this stock. First, we're going to talk about some recent events with GameStop stock and why the stock is moving up. And then we're going to talk about whether it's worth the risk playing GameStop at this point in time and where the short squeeze stands. So let's get right into it. So over the past week especially, GameStop stock has popped up a good amount, and that's awesome. We could see it went from lows of around $86.70 all the way up to highs of $148.46 over the past 3 days. That's some pretty awesome price action, and a lot of volume is flowing in. So that's awesome. GameStop has earnings, and they're set to report earnings after the market closes on June 1st. So that's next week. Be on the lookout. June 1st, they report earnings. Earnings can bring in a lot of volatility to the upside and the downside. In their last earnings report, the stock just skyrocketed shortly after. Then again, a lot of other stocks were popping around that time. So it is a little bit skewed. Overall, there has been some new news with GameStop and some, I guess you can say, new hype with it. Of course, they are developing their GameStop NFT marketplace more and more. They have their GameStop wallets usable right now too, which is good. So they're adapting into like the NFT / cryptocurrency space. It's not really any crazy new news, but people are buying the stock a little bit more, and GameStop has been outperforming a lot of other stocks over the past couple days. But just because the stock is popping up right now, it doesn't mean the stock is going to skyrocket like all of these other YouTubers are saying it will. Back when GameStop initially skyrocketed in 2021, that was a completely different environment, not only in the market, but with GameStop specifically than what we're seeing now. A lot of YouTubers were BSing their audience, saying there's no way this stock won't go to $10,000 a share and other crazy numbers, which was just ridiculous. Everyone got caught up in the hype. Most people ended up buying near $300 or even higher. I mean, some got in a little bit lower, but most of the hype and most of the volume came in when GameStop was at its all-time high. Since that point, the stock has done nothing but, just go back and forth and make lower and lower lows. So I'm not going to go out here and say to you guys that GameStop is about to skyrocket like every other YouTuber who covers GameStop. It's not the truth. And everyone who's been saying that for the past year has just been extremely wrong over the past year at this point. Now here's the thing. Let's go to a chart on Google Trends. We can see the popularity of GameStop over time. Obviously, so this basically shows right here, shows the search volume for GameStop stock on Google over the past 5 years. It was basically nothing, and then there was a giant inflow of search activity around January and February of 2021, and then nothing again. So we could see, before the giant squeeze in like January and February of 2021, we could see there was less than one search interest. Right now we're back to that same level. Like no one's searching about this stock anymore. When GameStop was booming up and it went from, you could say $17 up to like $500 in a couple weeks, hedge funds were put in a really bad position. They had to, cover their shorts, and they had to hedge on the options market. But the best case scenario for the hedge funds were to have a very slow and drawn out process of the stock slowly trading lower. By doing this, they have multiple ways to hedge their position, and they can take advantage and use the options market to protect themselves and generate income off of their short positions. Now, that's exactly what we saw. So the hedge funds are actually in a great position by what happened with GameStop. Some will say, all right, well, the short interest is around 23.5% on GameStop. This is what is reported on finviz.com. So let's say we take 23.5% short float. The total float is around 64 million. So let's say you could say there's around 15 million shares short of the float for GameStop, okay? If there's 15 million shares short, yeah, it's a decent amount of shares. It's a relatively high short float percentage. But here's the thing. 15 million shares isn't a ton. That's only 150,000 call options that would need to be bought on GameStop in order to hedge. while it is a lot, it's not like a ton. That's the thing. So like these hedge funds can just buy up calls. So like for example, let's say a hedge fund has 15 million shares short of GameStop at $300 or something like that. What they can do is they can go to the options market, and let's just say for a hypothetical example, they went to the 300 strike call options, right, for June 17th. They could just buy 150,000 call options, and they would be completely protected. I know it sounds like, oh, that would cost a ton of money, but to these hedge funds, it's really not. And this is a simple example. In reality, the hedge funds would probably get more time and stuff like that. But the main point is that don't believe everyone else on YouTube who's just saying GameStop's about to skyrocket up to $500 a share, because those same YouTubers have been saying it's going to do that for the past year and a half, and it's done nothing but fall straight down. So I know this video might come across as mean or something like that. I'm not trying to be a jerk about this. It's just everyone in the GameStop space always says it's going to skyrocket up, and it ends up hurting the audience. And it's been like this for the past year and a half, and I just don't think it's right. So I'm just going to say the truth. GameStop stock does not have to fly up. Right now, it has a lot of positive momentum, a lot of volumes flowing in, and they have earnings soon, which can bring in some short-term movement, which can be beneficial for short-term trading, right? Whether it's for the stock or the options on GameStop. But don't just get caught up in the hype, guys. There's a ton of BS YouTubers out there, especially with GameStop. So either way, it's moving up in a good way right now. I'm not going to say this thing is going to have a giant short squeeze because I just don't believe it. Sorry if this video came off as mean, but I'm just trying to tell the truth and not have a lot of people get screwed over like what's been happening so much over the past year and a half with GameStop and AMC. So I hope you guys liked today's video. If you did, subscribe. And if you have any questions or anything, let me know your thoughts on GameStop down below. Besides that, let's have a great rest of the week.